Welcome, everybody, to episode 228 of the You Can't Comp This NBA Trading Card Podcast. We're your hosts, Adam, Amy, and Russell Gibson. Russell, how are you?
Good, mate. How are you today?
Early. We're early. I'm good. It's a lot earlier than Sunday for us.
It does feel
we're recording
compressed
a little bit early.
scheduled, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it is for a good cause. We've got our work annual dinner this weekend, so
Nice. It'll be nice. Reason, yeah.
take the peeps out for some food, so it's always good.
Oh, look, it's always good to record a bit early and keep our YouTube listeners and viewers on their toes.
That's right. Without warning.
They get their notification. If they've clicked the bell, they get the notification to alert them when we go live and sneak an episode in early during the week like this.
That's it. So hello, everyone at home. Hope you're well. Hello to our friends at Central Coast Radio. And I think we should just really quickly run down what we're going to talk about this week. Basically, we're going to have a bit of fun laughing at Gilbert Arenas and Marcus Morris. Then we're going to talk a lot about off-season movements, and I think that's going to probably take about half of today's show. Then just at the end of the show, we've got the Jordan Kobe dual logo 1 of 1.
Good way to finish the show.
Yeah, some Curry cards. We've got another Kobe Kaboom. We've got an Anthony Edwards. We've also got a story about Nikola Jokic and his agent with LeBron James and his agent, and we're going to guess maybe why those guys would be breaking bread together.
Talking about Luka, the team up.
Maybe. Maybe. I hope not.
I hope so. But before that, let's get on to, I suppose, let's get to the beginning of the show.
We talk about Gilbert Arenas first, just because I think he's the bigger NBA personality at the moment and probably the better NBA player too at the end of the day.
That's fair.
As per ESPN, according to the indictment, Arenas rented out his Encino house while one of his associates staged the mansion for the poker games, recruited co-conspirators to host, and collected rent from the co-conspirators on Arenas' behalf. If convicted, Arenas and the other defendants could face up to 5 years in federal prison for each count. I think we need to also remind people, if you haven't seen the Netflix documentary about Gilbert Arenas, you absolutely should watch it. And I feel like it really gives you really good insight into his personality and the way that he looks at life, and perhaps the way he doesn't respect authority and like to follow the rules. I think that's maybe the safest, the most polite way to say it.
That's probably a way to explain.
Gilbert doesn't give many Fs, does he? That's another way of saying it.
No. I mean, and it's not like, illegal poker games. Got the amount of NBA players on documentaries that play cards in between while they're going between cities and stuff is quite well known.
Yeah,
I do believe Jordan was also a prolific card player. Not that he had illegal poker tournaments, but it's a done thing, playing cards amongst players.
Well, if we're going down conspiracy theories at this point, and now you've mentioned Jordan, I didn't, just for the record, I didn't. There was some talk that the reason why he took that year off is because he was told to take a year off, get your gambling debts under control, and then come back. Whether that's true or not, I believe it to be true. I love the conspiracy, so that's
could have been advice. Very interesting.
So he does have a previous criminal conviction, 2 years probation. He got 30 days in a halfway house, and he also did 400 hours of community service and a $5,000 fine. And that was related to his gun charges when he was putting them onto the team plane and carrying them around between city to city when he was an NBA player. Just crazy stuff.
He wasn't a mentor for Ja Morant, was he?
Maybe.
Carrying guns from city to city. It's a different world. It's just a different world.
If we're speculating here, I actually wonder if he will go to prison for this. With his previous criminal record.
Well, they're not petty charges that he's on. He's kind of.
I'm guessing he goes to prison. That will be my prediction, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right, we have to look at some Gilbert Arenas cards because this is the fun of it. Yes, we can laugh at Gilbert and then all the rest of it.
All right.
Let's see if we can find an autograph. I found a rookie autograph, on-card autograph, Upper Deck SP Authentic FX that sold for $17.50 USD. That's actually maybe a little bit less than what I was expecting. I actually thought he'd have a bit more of that cult following. 2001 Topps Chrome Rookie Refractor PSA 9 that sold for $64 USD. That's actually a really nice looking card.
Okay.
And then the third and final card we'll talk about, we don't want to give Gilbert too much extra time. A Fleer Jersey Authentics number to 50 with the autograph on it. That's sold for $23.99 USD. So look, that's, I actually wonder if like he's also maybe a good reminder for people. Because imagine the hype around that guy when he first came into the league. That would have been like,
Yeah. There's
particularly when he exploded.
the
Yeah.
rise and fall of an NBA player, I guess, is
Yeah.
for sure.
There's no card ladder all-time stats available for him, but I would actually like to see if he like did rise and fall like Jordan Poole did. I wonder if he was
It's
a
never
Jordan
good to be
Poole.
mentioned in the same vein as Jordan Poole. That's all I
Absolutely not.
can say about that.
All right, let's get on to the
Oh,
next one because this is the one I'm probably.
this is the one that creates the more belly laughs, I guess.
So the headline of this was that NBA star Marcus Morris hits the court in handcuffs and his judge denies bond. So that happens. So then you start to read a little bit more about it. It's basically to do with markers that he took, or another word for marker is a loan at a casino, and he took 2 loans of approximately $100,000 each.
Okay.
Then the check bounced that he tried to pay for it for. Then they caught up with him at the airport, arrested him in front of his family, and dragged him off. So then his brother, his twin brother.
I was gonna say, is this a prank on his brother? And then his brother got arrested at the. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, that would
Yeah.
be kind of funny in a way, wouldn't it?
Imagine
That,
pranking your brother by getting the 2 loans and going, no, it was
like,
Markeith, not me.
Which one?
Yeah.
So I always feel like if you're going through a court case, you shouldn't pass comment on it in a public domain. So this is what his twin brother says.
That
The
sounds
wording is
reasonable.
crazy. Damn, for that amount of money, they'll embarrass you in the airport with your family. So if you read like the legal jargon, it says for $1,200. But actually, if you read it more closely, it says for greater than $1,000. So that's what the check bouncing bit is. So that's what he's referring to there. They got y'all really thinking bro did some fraud shit. They could have come to the crib for all that. Well, they kind of did write you letters, and you may or may not have replied to them, so come on. When you all hear the real story on this shit, man, all I can say is lesson learned. Bro will tell you all tomorrow. This weird shit gave me a headache. Well, he can't tell you because he's still locked up. They didn't give him bond. Can't stop with nothing. This is like, for me, epic sort of high comedy. I'm actually surprised this hasn't been taken down already. Like, why didn't he delete this? 90,000 views, 400 likes, 89 retweets.
It's in there. It's the world we live in now.
The NBA Central commented on this too. Marcus Morris Sr. has been robbing NBA teams of millions of dollars per year, now finally facing charges of fraud.
Oh, goodness gracious.
All right, just a reminder, he has previous battery charge in 2012, which he went into a diversion program for.
Okay.
Aggravated assault charge, which he was acquitted of in 2015. That was with his brother.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know how that will affect him in court at the moment. I'm actually a little bit surprised that he couldn't or didn't have the opportunity just to pay the money back and then get bonded out. Like, that to me is like a little bit, I don't quite understand that legal process. I would have thought that would have been better for everybody, like cheaper for the legal system, better for him because he's not spending time in prison unless they're actually intending to get the money out of him and also convict him. That's what I'm sort of currently like thinking at the moment. Pretty keen to like see where this ends up.
I'd like to see where this goes. I also wanted to know, why didn't Markeith, rather than tweeting, go and step in for your brother and, like, I don't know, give him a chop out while he's in court. Let him run free.
No
They could
idea.
have plotted this better if they're identical twins and you can't tell them apart.
That is kind of funny, isn't it? Yeah.
He's like, while he's in jail, not being allowed on bond, Markeith goes out trying to be Marcus and gets another loan out.
Oh man, some of the comps in these cards is not great. So a 2012-13 Threads rookie autograph for $3 USD, an SGC 10 white sparkle sold for $6.50. I don't reckon even on the cheapest grading fee on SGC would you have got your money back. And that's an SGC 10 of all things too. So RIP to that person who sent that in. And then the third one, this is probably the last one we'll do, 2018-19 Encased Materials, number to 25, sold for 10 USD. I'm not touching any of this stuff. I think the guy's an absolute goose. All that stuff that happened with him and Jokic when they had that run in and he like they're the worst like type of fake tough guys in the league. I actually reckon they give tough guys a really bad name. I was trying to think about this actually before I came onto the show. Like, I feel like the old school tough guys like Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley would just be disappointed with this guy, just like shaking their heads. Like what are you doing? You know?
It's pretty.
Get your act
It's pretty
together.
poor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right, final thoughts on this before we start beating a dead horse here.
It's sad when basketball, you realize they're real people
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's just
Yeah.
like, but it's like this kind of behavior. And they've been trained while they were in the NBA about the public spotlight, about what to do, what not to do. And
Money management.
yeah, all of this. And yet they still come out. And obviously they probably a few lessons in the way they communicate on social media. Y'all.
Yeah.
What was it? Yep, this shit's not gonna anyway. It's about to heat up, I'm sure.
Anyway. All right, let's move on.
Let's.
I've had my fun.
It was good.
All right. This next one is about off-season movements and basically just us talking about who should we be looking at after all the trades and etc. that's gone down this off-season. So we put up a Instagram post. We put up a Facebook post. I didn't add everyone on this one, so we've got a few more comments on it.
Okay.
Why don't we organize this by all comments? And we'll start at the top with James Gregory and Johnny Furphy. I actually think he's a good one to start with and a good one to chase. So I think for me, Johnny Furphy is a buy at the moment. We've talked about Johnny Furphy in the last couple of weeks with that huge dunk that he did in the preseason,
that
summer leagues.
Classic poster.
It actually needs to be on a card, honestly.
It's got to be on something, and it's there was a really cool anime suggestion put forward on one of the meme pages. You know those the Prism, how they've got the
yeah
that
look good.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. I think Johnny Furphy's going to come into some relevance, especially with the movements in Indiana.
His stuff's not dirt cheap though, so this is actually surprising me a little bit. So this is the Mosaic Spectrus, which I'm assuming is a ripoff of Tetris.
Probably.
Photo number to 10. It's not even gold. It's yellow, black, and blue. That's sold for $73 USD. And look, that's a really aesthetically pleasing card. But for me, like Furphy is a tier 2 or a tier 3 prospect. Do you know what I mean? Like he's realistically probably going to top out as like a bench player that lasts in the NBA 8 to 10 years. I think that would be his high point. Maybe what I'm missing here is the Australian collectability, because then you go down to the next card, select silver patch autograph, which of course is going to be a sticker autograph and non-game worn, game used material. That's sold for $20 USD. Like I think for a prospect of his caliber, that's actually a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Penny Noir, Johnny Furphy, rookie patch auto colored to 99. That sold for $71 USD. I would probably rather the Noir than the Mosaic, but that's just me. I prefer a nice Noir patch and autograph than a Mosaic, non-autographed card. Is there anything on there that really takes your eye that you'd be looking to pick up?
Not really. The tier 2s, I worry a little bit with those kind of players, just because there is a tendency in today's market for people to pay future pricing. And I think at the secondary, do you, don't you kind of player, there's just too much risk involved and you tend to end up paying overs.
Yeah, I mean, even if we go back and comp this to Gilbert Arenas, like Gilbert had an amazing NBA career.
But it's like, am I gonna be looking to spend that $20 or $30 on someone that I think is not being rated at the moment and has taken that dip in the previous draft class that could take a step up? Like I don't know where, because I don't think if he doesn't break out, that $20 investment is a $10 card.
Oh, for sure.
So I just don't like paying overs on stuff like that.
I think you have a little bit of insurance, so with him being an Aussie, I think there'll always be that sort of Aussie.
Movability locally in our market in Australia for sure. There is if it's an international player that has a local market, you're probably you can build yourself a buffer with the ability for the card to sort of hold some value.
Yeah. I think we should go to a break because it's that time already.
Then we can talk about another Aussie.
Absolutely. Really quickly, as we're going out to the break, Mr. Man Cave scam update. There's no new articles that I can find in the last 7 days. So basically, we've covered them on last week's show. But that is still a very good segue as we go into our first advertisement, which is Fast Break Trading Cards. Go to fastbreaktradingcards.com. There you will find a huge range of Topps, Fanatics, official partner memorabilia. Anything that you buy from the lads there comes direct from the source. You've got no problems at all purchasing from that, ending up in a Mr. Man Cave situation. Sports trading cards, tops, basketball, football, baseball, soccer, Formula One, tennis, UFC, WWE, of course, all the other extra stuff too, grading, card protection, entertainment, TCG. Today, I think what we'll do is we'll have a look at basketball because it's been a minute since we've had a look at it.
Well, since we're
2024.
looking at, we're talking about movements and stuff, have we got anything from that 2022 or 2023 draft class?
I will find something for you. 2024 Panini Prism Monopoly WNBA Basketball Blaster Box Black for $95. Look, as much as I love WNBA, I'm very worried about that type of stuff. What year do you want at? 23, 24?
Well, 23-24 is Wemby, isn't it?
So 24, 25, we've got a Panini Prism Basketball Mega Box that has the green ice prisms, $150 in that. That'll be a really fun rip with your mates, maybe over a dinner or some drinks or
Oh,
something like
that's a
that.
good idea. That's a good idea. I reckon that'd be great. So a dinner for four, you'd rip that.
Maybe next Wednesday, yeah.
That's a good idea. I like
Great
that. I
idea.
like that. Maybe we should try that out.
1920. This is a bit of an old school one. Panini Donruss Choice Hobby Box for $7.50. Yeah, some of that old stuff really popped, didn't it? 24-25 Panini Prism Basketball Retail Box for $240. As always, lads, thank you so much for your ongoing support. We very much appreciate it. And we are back for part 2 of today's show. And we're going to continue our conversation around the
Certainly are.
off-season movements. And you mentioned an Australian player. Who did you want to talk about next?
Oh, look, I was just going through the comments in general, and I recall seeing the name. Oh, well, it is. There we go. We've got Al Keynes, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Still Scoot Henderson and Giddy. Giddy's the one I want to talk about.
I was just about to jump in
Scoot's
then.
not
I'm glad I
correct-
held my peace. I was like, I
correct.
don't remember Scoot Henderson being
You imagine the
Aussie.
rumors going around. Scoot Henderson outed as an Australian. What? No,
All
Josh
right.
Giddey. Josh Giddey's the
Let's
one.
go with your boy Josh Giddey. He last sold for 225 USD. If you have been following this at home, that's a massive uptick. And actually, if we take out the last 2 sales, because the last sale was 225, the
Yep.
sale before that was 117.
Mm-hmm.
The sale before 225 was actually 75. And then the one in the middle, which I think is the sale we should use, is 117. And that's sort of where he's been floating around. And he's definitely on an uptick because at one point he was all the way down to $25. So people that bought up at $25, congratulations. You've done very, very well for yourself. I think Giddy's a pretty safe buy at the moment. Look, I'm going to assume that 220 sale is probably not going to hold. And it's going to come back around to that sort of $110, $120 mark. At that point, I think that's very, very good purchase because, yes, he's currently in a holding pattern with the Bulls, but they'll come to some sort of agreement in a matter of time. I've got no problems with that at all.
I think I don't know. Giddy's always been a bit of a roller coaster. I love obviously there's the Aussie factor, which gives him that little bit of extra hobby love and stability and demand. I guess it's a supply demand industry is what this hobby is. So if there are Aussies out there that want his cards, that's definitely a positive.
I think he got slaughtered after he got traded from OKC to the Bulls, but you can
Yep.
also see here now he's definitely making a bit of a rally back.
Yeah, a bit of a resurgence.
And again, depending on when you bought him, yeah, I actually think even now this is not a terrible purchase. The population on this is really low, 154. And we're going to talk about some cards later on the show that have got some, just horrific pop counts.
Counts, yeah.
I actually think that's, in today's standards, that's quite I'm using air quotes now, that's quite a rare card.
If you reckon if you get him sub 150, it's a good
I think
buy.
he'll be fine. I think that card could easily go to 200, 250.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm assuming that 225 is a dodgy sale and that will either come back down again or it'll be removed in the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
So the other one to talk about is Scoot Henderson. I think we should definitely talk about Scoot because when he came out of the draft, there was definitely a lot of hype around him. I think I was worried about him just for the fact that to the team that he went to. I think the other thing I was a little bit worried about too was like, for me, he's not a high skill guy. He's very much about
Mm,
athleticism. And I sort of worry about those guys a little bit in that, if they don't come in and improve, they can get left behind quite quickly and or they
yeah.
lose a little bit of their athleticism or they get injured, or any of that combination. So
Yep.
I didn't go heavy into him. However, I think we can say our friend of the pod, Al, is a huge Scoot fan. So there's definitely Scoot fans out there.
Yep.
He's not on card ladder for his regular silver PSA 10, but his Prismania is on there. So we can talk about the Prismania.
That's a pretty cool card, not gonna lie. It's
It's a fantastic card. And I've also found his last sold for a silver PSA 10. That sold for 89 USD. So
okay.
comping that with Giddy, that's still what, 50% cheaper, even if
Mm-mm.
you're marking Giddy's
Make
down a
that
little bit.
yeah. Take that sale out. He's still cheaper than Giddy.
There's a blue prism to 199 that sold for 140 USD.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think these prices are outrageous, but at the same time, too, this doesn't make me want to deep dive into buying Scoot. I do think, though, that the secondary market at the moment is quite juicy, isn't it? Like, trying to go into a break and get a silver that's in good condition, send it off to PSA and get it home. You try doing that for 89 USD. I think that would be
Tricky.
almost damn impossible, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's something to consider, isn't it? It's the off season. There are bargains about, especially for players that aren't on people's radars.
Yeah.
So obviously Scoot's on Al's radar, but he might not be a collector's favorite right now.
Yeah.
New draft class, some new shinies in town does take the focus off. How do you think Scoot is impacted by Lillard coming back to Portland?
So for the next 12 months, there's going to be zero impact
Of
at all
course.
because Lillard's
Yep.
going to be out.
What if he's sidelining and mentoring?
I hope that he's going to be there in a mentoring role and not in a starting role, because I think if that is the case, that will really affect his trajectory. And I
Okay.
would also think too, it would have a bit of a role on, say, like Shade and Sharp.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I will say this, I really think if we're going to talk about the Blazers just for a second, I think they've done a really good job of putting together a very young core, but also has really good veteran support. So getting Drew Holiday, like I think that's a really
They've got
that's
a lot of good pieces. Yeah.
that's a really, really good get for them. I can't, say that enough. I think Danny Adjava is still, really young. I think he's going to be really good in that sort of, young sense. And then the old guy, that forward spot is Jeremy Grant to back them up. So again, they've sort of got that old and the young.
Yeah.
Then looking through the rest of the roster, they got Chris Murray, they got Shaden Sharp, which we already spoke about. And then like Thibel's sort of at that point now where he's not really a young guy anymore, is he? Like he's
No,
like a
he's
bit of
more.
a veteran.
He's getting that sort of that peak of his career veteran status. Like he's
Actually, when you look at the roster, they've got some young kids, but they've really thinned out the amount of youth they've got on that team, haven't they?
they're a lot more mature than you expect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I'm a
they've
bit
made some
confused
moves.
why they gave up Anthony Simons. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That to me was like, unless they've just decided he's not. Well,
They just
obviously
cut
they
bait on it.
decided.
They just
Yeah,
cut
that's
bait
right.
on it.
He
Yeah.
wasn't going to be part of their future. That's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. We should really talk about though the Scoot Henderson Prismania, because that is a genuine SSP, and this card is on card ladder. Population on this is 5. It sold for 535. I kind of get why this card didn't go for higher because of the profile of the player and also the risk involved. I get that 100%. But actually, I wonder if something like this can you actually put them in the same sentence as a Kaboom?
I'm not sure, and I'm undecided on it, but I think an argument can be made that is in that vein of type of card. Yeah, for sure.
And the reason I say that is because, like, I think Kabooms now actually, they're still case hits, but they're a lot more common, and they're making a lot more of them. So whereas something like that, which is a genuine, SSP / case hit, like that, I think that really does get like if you're looking for a rare card or a low printed card,
Yep.
as much as I sort of am pained to say this, like should you actually be looking at the Prismania instead of a Kaboom?
Is it something you put on the radar to have a look for?
Oh,
So if it's something
absolutely.
if you see, yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely I like the look of the card. I like the
Yeah.
I think the animation is cool. I like the big head, like bobblehead style
Yeah.
that they've got. Almost like a pop vinyl feel about it.
It's very like for me, I would put that in the same. That's also why I use the Kaboom reference because
It's
it's
that
like,
animated. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
it's
On the
still that
shiny
same
background.
sort of.
It's Prism's version, so they got a nice silver background, but yeah. Yeah, I like it.
So I'm having a little bit of trouble here finding some stats on the. So I'm looking. I chose Steph Curry just because it's easier. I knew there'd be a few numbers on this.
Yeah.
So this is the 2019 Crown Royale.
Mhm.
There's 22 PSA 9s. There's 20 BGS 9.5s. It's unknown how many raws there are, but there's a few sales on here. So, okay, let's just disregard that last bit. But there's at least 8 times more of these cards.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And I won't compare the price on these just for the fact of like it's Steph Curry. That's stupid to compare it to Scoot. But do you know what I'm trying to
I know
to do here?
you're
Yeah.
painting the population report, but it's actually painting a pretty interesting picture
Mm.
given that there are, you're right, more kabooms.
Maybe we need a timeless moment about Prismanias.
Prismania.
Do you know who would be good to talk about that is Ryan.
Yeah. We've probably got a long list for Ryan. We probably need to reach out and have a chat.
Come on, Ryan. All right. Next is David Ralph with Azure Thompson. And I think this is actually a really good one to talk about because the Houston Rockets, I think, are absolutely getting prepared for a massive run. Getting Kevin Durant is just huge for that team. And I think the Rockets last year were just a fantastic team. Like, honestly, they were just a really, really good team to watch last year.
Yep.
And I actually feel like maybe this year they're going to be my Pacers because I'm definitely not watching the Pacers this year.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, thank the card ladder gods. Azure Thompson is on card ladder with a Prismania, no less. I feel like this is going to be a Prismania night. PSA 10, population 3, last sold for 455. Oh, this is interesting. The PSA 9, last sold very recently for 1,450. So probably what we should do is look at the sale date. Yeah, so the PSA 10 sold quite a long time ago. So if the PSA 9 just sold recently and it sold for basically 4 times as much, whoever bought that PSA 10 at 455 have done themselves quite a nice little deed there.
Yeesh.
And actually, we're going to talk about something similar that later in the show with a Steph Curry. All right, let's see what we got here in PSA 10. Azure Thompson. Oh, do you know what? I've got the wrong Thompson brother, haven't I? I've said Azure, but I meant to say Eamon.
It could be Eamon. No, they said
Eamon.
it's all.
No, Eamon is the Houston Rockets guy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we've done
What's
Azure. Now let's do Eamon. Give me a do-over on that. All right, you ready? Eamon Thompson, which is the Houston Rockets guy, is on card ladder with his silver PSA 10. Population on this is 975. Last sold for 225. So if you think that the Josh Giddey last sold price is real, they're almost neck and neck at the moment. There's a lot more sales data on Azure Thompson. This guy is hot. If you look at his dots on his map, there is a lot of action going
Azure
on
or
here.
Armin?
Eamon, thank you. Thank you for correcting me. In the last 3 months, interestingly, he's only up 1.5%. I would actually have thought there'd be a lot more heat on this card.
It's tricky. And because obviously the Rockets departed the playoffs rather early.
But I think that's fine. I think for that team, just them getting to the playoffs was a huge deal.
Yeah, true.
So what I'm going to say about this, though, and I'm going to get my Thompson's right this time, Eamon Thompson, I think he becomes a better prospect now that Jalen Green has been moved on because really who else is like a young prospect on that team now that Jalen Green is gone? I think Şengün obviously is someone you can look at. And we can roll this into Reed Shepherd too. Jabari Smith is there, I suppose, but at the same time, I don't think there's a lot of heat on that guy. I think where I was going with that is like, I think now that Jalen Green is gone, I wonder if more people will be investing in Eamon Thompson just for that fact, because it's like, you don't want to spend money on Jalen Green anymore, or you might even take your money out of that and roll it into Eamon.
Yeah, that's a very valid point.
I think for the next 12 months, like that is going to be a really, I'm going to put that as a buy. I don't think it has zero risk, but at the same time, like for me, the logic is there. That team is going to be progressing through the playoffs. I think he's going to have a big role in that team. I think defensively, he is just exceptional. And I think Kevin Durant being there is definitely not going to hurt him. I think
Yeah.
KD's a good teammate and a much better shot maker than Jalen Green. Like, let's be honest here.
Hang on. Did you say Kevin Durant is a better teammate?
I like KD.
I don't know. I find that it's the teammate factor is the problem. He can play basketball. It's the teammate factor. Sorry.
But I think
You're welcome to call him a good teammate.
Yeah, but I think that thing with OKC, like we've already done this, but so I'll just do it
Yeah,
again
and
real
Golden
quickly.
State.
I,
Yeah.
I think that team was young, and I think that they had a lot of talent, and I think also too that pairing of KD and Harden was always going to end up like that, and
But then
then
he went with Curry, and
mix
Curry's
in the
like the best.
personality type of Westbrook. Yeah, but actually they won 2 championships, right?
They did, but his ego, and he wasn't a good teammate. He was just a good basketballer.
But was it his ego, or was it the fact that he just couldn't get along with Draymond, and who was proven to be like kind of a bad teammate over the years, punching people, getting suspended,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
nut kicking LeBron?
I don't think
I
I
actually
don't.
think,
I think KD struggled to be a follower of Steph Curry and didn't. He wanted to be the guy, and he
but
couldn't
was the
accept that.
chemistry issue Steph
Steph, or was
and
it?
KD? I don't think so. I actually think those guys. I
Mm,
thought they played really well together.
fair. Yeah, could be Draymond.
Then he goes on to the Phoenix Suns, right? And like,
Don't
was
don't
it?
forget Brooklyn. Don't forget Brooklyn.
Yeah, I think we can move past that. But like, there was no animosity between him and Booker. Like, there was no complaints there.
It wasn't about complaints about him. He just didn't want to be there at all.
I just think with him, it's a bit like Jimmy Butler. He's a 2 or 3 year
Okay.
rental,
Okay.
and I think
Okay.
that's what. Once you get that into your head, it doesn't
I
mean
don't
he's a
know.
bad
I feel
teammate.
like Kevin Durant's the
He
biggest
just gets
diva, one of
bored.
the biggest divas in the NBA.
He probably is.
And if he doesn't get his way, he creates a bunch of burner accounts.
All right, we're going to take another break. We're actually getting through this a lot slower than what I was expecting. This might be the whole show,
I
Ad.
told you this was gonna take up most of it,
Oh,
right?
you were
Yeah.
right. I was wrong.
That's all right. We might we'll get some repeat names soon. Don't worry.
It's all good. We're not in a rush, really, are we?
True.
US Sports Cards Australia, thank you for your ongoing support. Go to ussportscardsaustralia.com.au. There you will find a blue screen. Click on the 3 little noodles at the top. You'll find sports breaks. Check out my Cards Australia singles categories, collectible protection, hobby boxes, sports memorabilia, and toys. Of course, go to Ross's project, his pet project. Check out my Cards Australia. It is a consignment service. Submit all of your cards to Ross. He will sell them for you on your consignment submission form. Just write anywhere on there, you can't comp this, for a free submission. I think what we should do today is go to his singles category, just have a bit of a browse through that. So let's go singles, NBA basketball. Let's see what he's got for sale here. RJ Hampton, silver rookie for $1. I'm just browsing through here randomly. I'm not doing any keyword searches. He's got a lot of Prism silvers on here. He's got an RJ Hampton red, white, and blue for $1. He's got 19 plus pages to sift through here.
That's awesome. That's a lot to get through.
He's got a lot. Desmond Bain base rookie Prism card for $1. Looks like everything bottoms out at about $1. I suppose that does seem like a lot, but at the same time, if you are then combining your postage in together, it actually works out totally fine.
Mm.
Oh, Adam, there's one here we missed. That's the LeBron Kobe tribute dunk. He sold that for $2. It's marked as sold out. Clearly
Oh,
a
no.
purchaser got in on that and purchased that one quick.
Love that one. Love that card.
All right, that will cut it off there. Thank you to Ross and Michael for your ongoing support. We really appreciate everything you do for us, lads. All righty, we're back. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to continue our off-season conversation with Mr. Joel Pettingill's suggestion of Terrence Shannon Jr. I've been keen on him for a while, hoping he gets his chance. All right, so I think this guy's not a good prospect because he's already 24 years of age.
Somebody that had a Prism Jade Dragon disagrees and spent 155 USD on it.
See, I think that's a sell, though.
That's a sell.
Yeah. So last season, keeping in mind he would have been 23 then, 10 minutes a game, 48% from the field, 35% from the floor, 81% from the line, 1.5 rebounds, 1 assist.
Yeah.
Nothing to comment on with blocks and steals. half a turnover a game for 4.3 points. Look, I think
Yeah,
at 24, what he'll be 25 almost imminently.
that's normally how it works.
That's not really
Yeah.
someone you want to be prospecting into. I think,
Yeah, yeah. Look, I agree. For context, Luka Doncic is 25.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
correct. Yeah, I get it.
yeah,
SGA is 26.
yeah. Pat Williams is 23. Like, this is a kid that I feel like he's about 35 already. And I think, look, I think all the money I've spent on Pat Williams is gone. It's flush, but at the same time, he's still got like 2 more years to catch up to our
Mm-mm.
boy
Mm.
Terrence Shannon Jr. So, anything else in terms of comps you've got on him that's worth mentioning?
There was a one of one that went for 1,450.
Jesus.
That's in the 24-25 select hobby. 101 Black Infinite. Black Finite Auto.
That is high-end gambling. That's Jordan-esque.
That's Markeith Morris has taken out a loan to buy that card.
Maybe that's what the bad credit was for.
That exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing else of note really.
All right. Joe Fu, with some greats of the game almost wrapping up, Curry and LeBron still remain amongst some players I wouldn't mind getting more of. Damian Lillard moving back to the Blazers for his retirement tour makes him very attractive as a lower cost Hall of Fame great to collect. Younger prospects, Benedict Mathurin, Scoot Henderson, Reed Shepard, looking good moving forward. All right, I will let you open up with this one.
That's a
'Cause
lot.
I know you want to talk about LeBron.
I think maybe, and this is just a maybe, with enough negative press on LeBron, his cards might be sneaky buys at the moment because they will go up when the retirement tour starts.
Mm,
That's just my thought. I think when he's back in a positive light, people will want the cards. Where people are saying he's too old, too slow, and holding the Lakers back, and every second day there's a different trade package to move him to Cleveland or Miami or whatever.
yeah,
I don't think the positive narrative is where his card value is going to hold. Look, I could be wrong, but I have a feeling that once that announcement comes, and it might not come this season, it might come next season, and LeBron will announce he's going for one more round, and that's it.
mm,
And that's the point where those cards are going to start going up.
yeah,
I mean, you don't have to say he's the greatest of all time to accept and appreciate the fact that LeBron James is one of the greatest basketballers to have ever graced the hardwood.
yeah,
It's you can say Jordan's the greatest, but what this man's achieved is phenomenal.
yeah,
And he's a modern day great. So the retirement of LeBron James will be a big deal and will naturally increase the demand for his cards.
yeah. Yeah, I've got no
So
problems with anything that you just said.
the negative exposure at the moment may reduce the demand, which gives it a great opportunity to buy this offseason.
So I've got 4 things to add to this. I think LeBron is a buy at the moment.
Yeah,
My number one point is let's talk about his Topps Chrome rookie card.
sure.
If you look at the all-time data on this card, we're up and down through the crazy period, right? So it's done and dusted. So I think now is a good time to sort of be reassured that that is actually an accurate and stable price. Because if you look at that, so if you draw a line from pre-COVID to now, it's just like a very gentle line going upwards. And to be honest with you, I think that's the
That's just
right
natural growth, right?
trajectory for that card. So where this for me gets really interesting is, so we got 28,000 for the PSA 10 is the current price. Population's 180. Go to the PSA 9, that's 11,000 at population 422. And actually, if you look at that and you're drawing that line from pre-COVID to now, I actually think that line's a little bit steeper.
Yeah.
And I think interesting for me, I'm like a 9 and a 10, I think should be like 50% cheaper, but that's more than 50% cheaper. So I actually wonder if there's still a bit more room on that PSA 9 to go up. So I'm going to put that as a buy. I think buy the PSA 10 if you can afford it. Buy the PSA 9 if you can afford it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's
sure.
your 2 price points. If you want to go something cheaper, I actually think at the moment something that's undervalued in the marketplace is any silver LeBron card. So whether it's like a select, a prism,
Oh, good
inserts,
point.
because
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of them you can pick up now for like $10 in auctions. And I really think this is a very long-term like conversation that we're having at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's like very much a good buy. The other card is just to talk about is the one we really quickly touched on in our advertisement with US Sports Cards Australia, the LeBron Kobe tribute dunk, I still think long term, this is a card that is going to be very much collectible and people are going to want to get their hands on. For some godforsaken reason, I cannot find a silver, and I don't want to talk about the gold to 10. Give me a second, see if I can find it under Raw. Here we go, Raw. There's no PSA 10 data on the Raw. All right, let's just talk about the Raws. It's irrelevant anyway. They're selling for $55 USD. I think that there's even a play to be made that you take those cards and you buy them and send them to PSA. There's always exception to the rules about sending cards to PSA.
Yeah.
And this is one of them. This is an all-time card. Just for context, the orange is currently trading at $520 for a PSA 10. So imagine what a silver would be trading for. Probably double that, I would guess.
Yeah.
The last point I want to talk about with LeBron is his autograph status. There's been a little bit of rumblings in terms of him having autographs coming up with Topps. What's that going to do to his current autograph stash? I haven't actually seen as big of a downfall as what I was expecting into that. And in fact, I'd actually say the little bit of price that has come off some of these like cheaper LeBron autographs, like his Irish stuff. Actually, now because it's come down a little bit, it's probably a good time to buy.
Probably good buys.
But I would also say if you're going to hang out and wait for the Topps Lakers uniform stuff to come out, that's going to be sick. I think there's no problem with just putting your pennies away and doing that too. Like no problems with that.
Not at all. I think that's yeah.
All right, Curry. We've already done Curry today, haven't we?
We've talked about we've touched on Curry. No, we haven't done Curry today, but
do you want to do Curry?
We can touch on Steph Curry.
All right.
It's one of those. It's in a similar vein to LeBron. I don't think he's definitely in the twilight of his career. So the lens looks a bit blurry, and maybe there's some opportunities there. I don't think you're going to get any crazy steals on Steph and Curry. But look, it's something that's on my radar for sure. It's I mean, a Curry rookie. This man is going to be etched onto Mount Rushmore. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and he should be. And I think just stealing again from Ryan at GemRate, where he was saying that is Curry the guy that we should be buying up? Is he the most underrated? Using index data from that. I think since the last time we've spoken to Ryan, Curry shifted up a lot. So that conversation, that equation might have changed.
Yeah.
But I still think there's a long way to go with Curry going upwards, just in general. My only thing with Curry is like, I feel like with LeBron, you can buy that sort of more lower end stuff and it'll be fine. Whereas Curry, I wouldn't be as confident to say buy
the silvers.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say the same thing about Curry.
I think silvers and numbered are safe bets.
I would say with Curry, do case hits, do the kabooms, maybe
color matches,
maybe do an autograph. But Curry has signed so much, I'd be a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I wouldn't be buying every single Curry autograph that I could get my hands on. Whereas I feel a bit different about LeBron. Do you know what I mean? Like I think for me, like LeBron is just that one or two steps up the ladder than what Curry is.
I agree.
In the hobby world, at least, anyway.
Fair.
All right, that's enough on Curry. Damian Lillard. Let's talk about Lillard because he's an interesting one in that now that he's gone back to Portland for his twilight, he's not going to now win a championship. We can start to summarize his career a lot more comprehensively.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually really interested to see what's happening with his prices at the moment, like the last couple of months, because, he hasn't sold. His silver PSA 10 hasn't sold in the last 3 months.
Or 6 months, actually.
There's been one sale in the last 6 months, and that sold for $1,100. Look, maybe he's going to be one of those cards that not a lot of people sell them. It's not a highly traded card.
There's only 45 of them.
Yeah. Plus his resume, plus his cult following. $1,000 might be the buy-in for this guy. Look, for me, I'm not going to bag people for collecting Lillard. This is such a personal preference thing. This is a PC card for me. I just don't see that this is not. I don't think this is a traded or tradable card. And I think that the sales data backs that up. It's just, this is not liquid.
Agreed.
I think maybe the more fun question,
agreed.
Maybe the more fun question for this podcast is, do you buy, hold, or sell that? I would sell that for $1,000.
I'd sell it. Yeah.
And buy.
I'm sorry, put it towards a Curry or a Jokic or something.
Correct. Yeah.
LeBron.
We need to go for a break, Ad. When we come back, we will do Benedict Mathurin.
Let's do it.
And we are back For the last segment of today's show, and we are absolutely not going to get to any of the other stuff on the run sheet today.
Oh, we might get one more thing done. Plus, that we've got the Jordan Kobe to finish with.
I don't think we're even going to get to the Jordan and Kobe.
Probably right. Let's be fair.
All right. Benedict Mathurin. Yes, I think this guy is a buy. Do I think he's as good of a buy as he was before Halliburton blew out his Achilles? No, I don't. But
Interesting.
I think that team is going to be in purgatory for a long time. Actually, I'm changing my decision. I'm putting him as a hold.
He's a hold now.
Yeah, I can't. I think they're going to be really bad this year. Silver PSA 10 last sold for 86 USD. Like, that's not a buy for me. I'm not. No. In fact, I'm ready to move on already. I'm done with that.
I've got a counterpoint.
Hit me.
I think, and look, you might be right. It might be a sell, a hold. It might be a disaster year for the Pacers. However,
it's going to be bad this year, man.
Yeah. However,
yeah,
I was going back through. We were talking about this before the show. We were talking about, funnily enough, what draft year is, we'll say, due to explode, given the, call it the Anthony Edwards, the Cade factor, the take the next step year, right?
Yep.
Mathurin's in that window. Mathurin is in that window, as is, who's the other one on the Pacers? So Mathurin, same draft, isn't it? Andrew Nemhard.
Sure.
Both in that window. And I'll continue that and say Detroit's also got a couple, because I'll segue for my whole bit. Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren.
That's fine, but I think my perspective is like they've just made the finals. They've lost Halliburton and also Miles Turner. So let's just say I agree with like this. Like
they've
what
still
you're saying.
got Pascal Siakam. That's my.
How much
faith in that,
much
man.
increased output do they need to do to keep that team relevant? Like I just I think it's
they
very
get a few
tricky.
Players back from injury, and then they work. I don't think they're going to be playing in the NBA Finals this year.
If they win 25 games this year, I'll be genuinely surprised.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got them. I'll have them in the play-in.
Okay, in the East, like that's not outrageous to say that, but it's like I think it's already tricky in Indiana because it's a small market in terms of like hobby collectible. Like I think if Halliburton was on another team, he'd probably be double the price, honestly.
Yeah,
and it's like then if you take out Halliburton and all the eyes on the playoffs, like I think they're going to be. I think that's like for me that's really tough.
I don't, the team that's been built and the system that they've built, I think is very open to slotting pieces in and throwing lineups out.
Yeah.
And this Indiana
like
culture,
the Mike D'Antoni sort of output. Yeah.
But it's like they'll keep throwing things until something works, something sticks.
Yeah.
And if they get an elevation out of two of their players, that puts them into some form of relevance.
And he had that huge game in the finals, so maybe they'll bank on him, keep doing stuff
Nemhard
like that.
Does something. Mathurin does something. They take a step, they get a big, maybe something happens. And Pascal Siakam is one of the most underrated players in the league.
100%, but still like
he can't do it on his own. He's not
his
the
hobby
number one
collectible
guy.
value is still not there,
Correct.
He's a tough one.
But
I love Spicy P. Yeah.
But maybe Mathurin's the one that becomes the collectible one by being entertaining. Right?
All right.
Maybe. I'm just
trying
to.
I think we should make an Instagram
positivity.
click out of this, to be honest. Yeah.
Very clickbaity. And then obviously I've got the same view for Detroit with Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren, who also came out of the same draft pod and are set for that breakout level.
So I would be like betting on Jaden Ivey. If I had a choice between Jaden Ivey and Mathurin, I'd be like Jaden Ivey all day because with old mate Malik Beasley fixing games now out of the league, that's actually created a really large void, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Void on that team.
And I think a doubt whatsoever.
The person to benefit the most out of that nonsense is Ivy, 100%. Duren for me is a bit like,
but he's the
big guy.
Yeah.
He's a big guy.
Yep. Agreed.
He hurts people and he is great to watch, but are you collecting him? I don't think so, Reed Shepherd, I've got a take on this. So this is going back to Joe Fu's post.
Yeah, yep.
Last year, I really felt he was held out of the lineup. And I think that if you draft someone at number 3 and don't play them for 2 years in a row, There's something really bad going on. And I think as much as they held him out last year, I think they'll play him this year. I think they
Okay.
have to. I also think too with that KD trade, they lost a little bit of depth.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe the thinking is that Reed Shepherd can come in and like fill some minutes there. So Ruby, PSA 10, which is that beautiful red on red for the Houston Rockets there, that sold for 71 USD. There's not a lot of Reed Shepherd on here for me that's like super collectible. There's a pink ice there that's pop 8, PSA 10, that sold for 43. I think that's a pretty good purchase. There's
Yeah.
the ice gold PSA 10 to 10, that sold for 1,525. You cited a card before that was a one of one. I think that's just as risky in my opinion. I think
For sure.
a lot has to go right to get your money back on that. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
agreed.
Yeah.
The stars need to align.
If eBay's taking 20% of your card,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No doubt.
Joe Fu, we forgot Topic. I don't think we can talk about Topic.
Nah, we're all right.
No, I think if he gets 8 minutes a game on that Thunder team this year, that's going to be... No, seriously, that
that's
team
an
is
improvement. Yeah, it's stacked. I get it.
It is absolutely stacked. I just think the
Yeah.
Thunder is such almost a stay away for me now, other than like the big boys at the top. That's just too packed. Yep.
Notables are actually... No,
So James
who have we
Mann
got?
said Scoot Henderson and Azure Thompson. Oh, wait, Azure Thompson. Oh, no, we kind of did do Azure
We've
and Amy
already,
at the same time.
yeah, that's what I
all
mean.
right,
It's
great.
already
We're
there.
done.
We've
Well
done both
done,
of them.
us. We're well done. Yep.
On the Instagram post,
The
and
Instagram, let's do it.
There's the is it House of Dragic with an elevating magic Paolo?
Yeah, great. Let's do Banchero.
And I think that fits well with what I was saying before about all the bumps, because he was the number one pick in the draft class I'm referring to, with Mathurin and
Right.
Ivy.
So you think this guy's got a good chance to move up?
I am very, very high on this draft class being very relevant this year.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that Paolo is, I think Paolo's the one to watch out for, as far as the number one player that we expect to go to another level.
Yeah.
To take that step. If anyone else, if any other draft class leaps, my smoky would also be Brandon Miller. But
okay, can you hold that Brandon Miller thought for 2 seconds?
We'll go and have a look at a card. Yeah.
Because what I was just going to say is, so Banchero is currently trading at 387, which I think is a very reasonable and fine price for him.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking maybe a good comp at the moment for Banchero is Cade Cunningham. So for reference, Cade Cunningham is currently trading at $499 with a population of 346. The Banchero's population is 861. So look, I really think, if you're on a budget and you've got $400, I think it's totally fine to buy a Banchero. But at the same time, looking at the pop count and the dollar figure, I actually wonder if, as much as I'm high on Banchero, what's that?
What is the pop count? Hang on.
The pop count is 861 for the Banchero.
It's not 4,800 like Wemby though.
No, it's not. But I'm just thinking, like, I'm making a slim down comparison here of like Caden Banchero, but I think he's a good buy. But at the same time, for that little bit extra, you can actually get someone who's like a bit more maybe stable. But at the same time, if Banchero averages 30 points a game this year, it wouldn't be shocking. He is. So
is this the moment where Paolo becomes
he's just a scoring machine, man?
That's what I mean. Like, does he all of a sudden do the SGA thing, and we're going, man, we should have got him when it's 387.
Yeah, definitely.
And all of a sudden he's at 1,600.
Look, I think that's a very good call. I think that absolutely could happen. You then touched on Brandon Miller. This is the perfect time to bring this guy in. He's trading at $175. The population is 2,200. And it's like, that is just absolutely insane. I can't believe that. Yeah, like that is just an insane. This is an absolute, I would not touch this card. Even if you gave it to me as a present, I'd be just still kind of like, I don't know what to do with this card. I was going to put it into a box. You know what I mean? It'd be like.
Brandon Miller's a different story though, because the pop count on his silver PSA 10 is 2,200.
Yeah. And also too, he's like such a difficult situation with the team. They've been all over the place. I think he's very heavily dependent on someone setting him up, which would be LaMelo Ball. Like, the really funny thing about Ball's game is actually I think he's still a playmaker, but he's evolving more into a volume. I wouldn't even call him a scorer. It's like shooting.
Yeah.
Like
I
his
know what you
3-point
mean.
numbers last year were just insane. And it's like, I know that's where the league is going, but like for me, the thing I love about his game is like him setting people up, and it's like every 3 ball he shoots is like, one less shot for Brandon Miller. All right, I think we should talk about something that we would buy from Brandon Miller. The blue ice to 125, that's almost a color match. The population on
Oh,
this is
likely, yeah.
63, and it's sold for 636. I think, yes, it's a lot more money.
But it's only numbered to 125. I think that's actually a really good. That's a good pickup.
And his Prismania is pop 1. No price on it.
But there is a PSA 10 out there.
Yeah.
PSA 9 lasts off $700.
Okay, let me rephrase my take on Brandon Miller. Stay away from the silvers. Look at other options. There's
There
some
you
nice
go. Yeah.
collectible. I don't need to be negative, Nelly, about this, do I?
Some pretty cards out there.
Yeah.
That could just suffice for a good rookie pickup.
Yeah. The two other that the House of Dragic put down was Bazulis for the Bulls, and I think that's a fun one to talk about.
Yep.
I cannot find him on card letter, so I'm just quickly
You can't
ducking
imagine
in.
you would. It's his, second year?
Yeah. Wow. So Bazulis' silver PSA 10 sold for 500 on
That's
best
ridiculous.
offer. Maybe we just don't realize how collectible this kid is. So the White Millionaire Shimmer 1 of 1 PSA 10 sold for 5,250. Maybe this dude is actually really low-key collectible.
No.
So in that case, I put him as a sell.
Yeah, I'm like,
If people are paying 500 for a silver,
give
that's
me my
fine.
$500.
I'm happy for you guys. Go nuts.
Yeah, that's not. I'm not buying it.
His hoops presentation, so that's like that hoops, like it's the hoops version of the kaboom, if you want to call it that.
Yep.
PSA 10 that sold for $203. That
Jesus.
Do you know there's more than one sold price of a silver for $500 ad? He might not be on card ladder, but there's 3 comps of 500. Another one for 475, another one for 475. Look, even if we say 50% of those are like not real sales, that's still all right, right. Okay. I think we need to take this to the listeners and ask them I feel like we've dropped this, mate.
Buy, hold, or sell. Bang. Up. Done.
Yeah.
Come on. Tell us. Let us know. Buy, hold, sell.
Yeah. Bazulis also, House of Dragic also put up Bub Carrington. This is going to be our final card of the night ad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bub Carrington is not on.
Are you surprised he's not on card ladder?
I would like to see all the first round picks on card ladder. If I was in charge of card ladder for the day,
you would do that.
I would do that.
You break the internet.
Bub Carrington, red cracked ice PSA 10 Prism rookie card, sold for $33.88 USD. Look, I don't mind Bub, actually. I think that's a very reasonable price. The premium factory set numbered to 150 PSA 10 that sold for 76 USD. That's probably a better purchase than the red cracked ice, to be honest. The blue sold for 150 PSA 10. That's all pretty reasonable to me, to be honest.
Yeah, that's like reasonable prospecting. That makes sense.
The only problem is, like, for me with the Wizards is, like, you can't trust the Wizards. It's like you can't trust the Clippers. You can't trust the Kings. You can't trust, you know what I mean? Like, there's a whole bunch of teams that you just, like, prospect into at your own peril.
Yeah.
And I would put Bub Carrington in that sort of peril zone. So this, for me, is like, yeah, to be honest, probably a bit of a stay away. As much as I do like Bub Carrington, I'm not investing crazy money into this guy.
No.
Final thoughts, my friend.
Final thoughts?
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting prospects in the off-season.
That was fun. We haven't done this for a very long time.
That's nice.
And this is like OG, you can't comp this content too, isn't it?
Yeah. But it is. It's the off-season. It's the downtime. It's what are you targeting? Like, we know the Nationals is going on this weekend. So there's going to be a lot more data out of that. There's going to be a lot more booms and spikes, and wonder how much memorabilia will be sold at the National. Anyway.
Too soon, Ad.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll have an update next week. Anyway, yeah.
Final thoughts for this week's show. Pay them checks.
Lots of, pay your checks. Don't get your twin brother to go and try and get lines of credit out for you.
That's right. And get him arrested at the airport.
Should we finish the night off with the Kobe Jordan dual auto?
I feel like we have to now.
Thank
if I
you.
say no, I'll be the bad guy.
You
Yeah.
would be. Otherwise,
Alright, I'll let you do
I
this.
would have thrown another Kobe out there. See, if you said no, I'd just throw another Kobe out. So on Heritage Auctions at the moment, the Kobe Jordan dual patch auto,
Yeah. Logo
logo man patch auto,
Yeah.
1 of 1.
Yeah.
Now this is what is it? Oh, look, it's a PSA 6.
Which I'm totally fine with.
I don't think anyone gives a fat rat's flying
That doesn't fuss me
something
at all. Yeah.
that it's a PSA 6. The current bid on this card sits at $2.9 million US, and there are over 3 weeks to go.
So my floor for this card is 5 million. If it goes for 10, I won't be shocked. I'm going to go in the middle and say it sells for 8 million. And I think that this is the type of card that all the big boys will be out there having an absolute showing how much of a bigger man they are to the other person as their bids go up, if you know what I'm saying.
Anthony Davis, all Anthony Edwards on someone.
Yeah, honestly. And look, whatever they pay for it is going to be totally fine. I think this is...
It's a magical card.
Yeah.
If I had it, I'd bid on it. If I had the money, I'd bid on it.
That's right. If I had a spare 10 million US lying around.
If I had the money, I would bid on it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful card. That is a grail.
Yeah.
A grail and a half. It's incredible. So
whatever this goes for, I'm just going to be just like, it's well deserved. Yeah.
Post on status reserve. Any will post on the 20th of the 8th. So we've got 21 days to go. 23 days to go. Time left.
I think we should just bookmark this, check back in on it.
Yep.
Thanks, Ad. Thanks, everyone at home. Take care of yourselves.
We'll see you in the next one.